Linda Safaris. Looking for your next unforgettable adventure? Tour your way to African nature. Imagine enjoying a comfortable ride for any occasion of your choice. Do you have a package for delivery? Our professionals are here for you. And that's not all. We partner with the best accommodation service providers, fit for your budget. So why wait? Reach us through the contacts on your screen. Welcome to Malinda Safaris. Looking for your next unforgettable adventure? Tour your way to African nature. Imagine enjoying a comfortable ride for any occasion of your choice. Do you have a package for delivery? Our professionals are here for you. And that's not all. We partner with the best accommodation service providers, fit for your budget. So why wait? Reach us through the contacts on your screen.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all our viewers. You're most welcome to this lovely show on Eurofarm Uganda, the 13th of October 2024. My name is Samantha Elf, all the way from Finland, and I'm your host today. Welcome to today's live session. We are diving into a topic that shapes how we connect, work, and live together in this increasingly globalized world where we are talking about unveiling the impact of cultural differences. Have you ever wondered why a simple gesture or word could mean something different in another part of the world? Or how cultural perspectives influence the way we see ourselves and others? Today, we will explore how these differences enrich our lives, create challenges, and ultimately transform the way we interact with others. Stay tuned as we dig into this interesting topic. We are all here to learn and learn from one another. So remember to invite a friend, to invite another, and let's do this together. Remember, we are Eurofarm Uganda, connecting with peers. You are most welcome. With me today is a gentleman. Actually, I do have two gentlemen from Finland, and they are both Raymonds. So I do not know how I'm going to differentiate the two of them, but I know I'll find a way. I'm going to be calling one Raymond Oga, that's the one from Nigeria, and I'll call the other Raymond the Rich Gang, or the Rich Raymond. That's Raymond that is from Finland. Before I invite Raymond to talk about, to introduce himself, I would like us to talk about the meaning of cultural differences. I would say in this scenario that cultural differences refer to the variations in customs, beliefs, values, behaviors, and traditions that exist between people from different cultures or ethnic backgrounds. The differences can manifest in various aspects of life, including communication styles, social norms, and etiquette, time orientation. We could have food and dietary habits, attitudes towards gender roles, among others. So all these are some of the aspects that are intertwined or that lie in the broad chamber cultural differences. What are cultural differences when it comes to you? Well, we are here to learn, sensitize, and educate one another. So allow me to invite my first guest today from Finland. The floor is all yours, and you're most welcome. I'm more than delighted to have you here with me.
Thank you, Samantha, for the invitation and that introduction of the Rich Gang. I'm not part of the Rich Gang. Actually, Finland is not part of the Rich Gang. My name is Raymond Butera. My name is Raymond Butera. I live here in Finland, and I'm a nurse by profession. I'm happy to be with you.
Thank you very much. Well, you've all heard it. Raymond says he's not part of the Rich Gang. I wanted to, tag him as one of the Rich Gang, but he is simply Raymond Butera. So we'll go with that. Before we start our show today, I know all of you know me for who I am, your one and only prayer host. So to you, my viewers, I'm going to request you to humble yourselves for a word of prayer. Let us thank the Lord for keeping us alive to now. So Raymond, please humble yourself for a word of prayer. Mighty Father, I would like to thank you for this beautiful and wonderful day, Lord. Thank you, Father, for your protection. Thank you for the bread of life. And Father, thank you that we do not have any pain in our bodies. Father, thank you for your love. We thank you for our families. And Father, we thank you for the wisdom that you have instilled in us. Lord, now that we are starting this show, I pray and request you to come and be here with us. Father, give us the wisdom. Let us be able to touch someone out there. Our mission here on your farm is to connect with peers, help us inform someone, help us bless someone out there. And Father, help us all to be good to one another, because Father, we know that you are love. And when we love others, then we do love you. We glorify your name and we pray it all this through Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Mm.
Thank you. Yes, Raymond, since we are all from Finland, today is a very special day. It's quite unique and it is, I don't know, I think it's one of the kind because we are all from Finland. We are three today, as in I have two guests, both from Finland, and then I, the host, I'm also from Finland. So I'm going to request you, Raymond, that we say something today in Finnish. Let's speak a little Finnish on our show today. But before we do that, let's start by wishing everyone out there a happy name day. In Finland, we have a culture where each and every single one has a name day. They call it nimipäivät. So today, I want to wish the nimipäivä sankarit, Tanya, Taija, and Tarja. Eli hyvä nimipäivät, eli näille sankarille. Me toivotan teille kaunis ja mukava päivä. Onnea tästä päivästä. Thank you. To Raymond.
Kiitos.
Kiitos. Haluatko myös sanoa jotain, eli suomeksi? Sano ihan jotain.
En usko, että jonkun täällä ymmärtää, mitä meidän puhuu. Olisi parempi puhutaan englanniksi.
Selvä. All right. Raymond said that since none of you here is going to understand what we shall be talking, he suggested that it's better if we stuck to English. And yes, I want to say this is a disclaimer. Today's show is strictly going to be in English. So for all our English lovers, you are most welcome to tune in. Come join us, invite a friend to invite another, and let's do this together. Remember, knowledge is power and we all learn from each other. So we are here still on Euroforum, and we are talking about this interesting topic today, unveiling cultural differences. Let's start, Raymond. Let's start our show now by talking about cultural differences. But before we do that, I just want to break down the different aspects, or I want to break down 5 different aspects in which today's show is going to run. The first one is going to be cultural traditions and practices. We'll have communication styles. We'll have work ethics and professional norms. Education and learning approaches. And then lastly, we'll have cultural views on time and space, like how different do people refer or regard time and space in different countries. To start with, let's talk about the cultural traditions and practices. And in this manner, I would like to ask Raymond, what are some cultural traditions that are unique in different parts of the world? And in this case, we're going to be talking about Uganda and Finland because we are from Uganda and then we live here in Finland. Raymond, please take us through.
Thank you so much, Samantha, for the opportunity, and Euroforum. Thank you so much for coming with this initiative of allowing us to share what we think. As a disclaimer, probably I will disclaim that whatever I'm to share here is my personal view. It has nothing to do with Euroforum. In case anybody is somehow not agreeing, or in case you are unhappy with my view or opinion. I think it is everyone has a right on their own opinion, and I'm not intending in any way to hurt anybody. Thank you so much. About the cultural differences, there's quite a lot. I've lived in Finland for 10 years, and in those years, I have really observed quite a lot of differences when we compare Uganda to Finland. One of the first things I would look at is how the Finnish people love their country. They really love their country to the extent that when they go, for example, like in supermarkets to purchase something, the first thing they look at is where is it coming from? Like is it made at home? Is it coming from Finland? Once it's a homemade product, they will always go for that, even if it necessitates even adding in more money to buy it, because they understand the value of buying a product that is of their own. Whereas when we compare back home in Uganda, if we have a local product and it is made in Uganda, it's somehow always pushed down a little bit, like it's local, it's not of quality. So I really don't understand where all that comes from. And I think this also imparts on how much we love our country, especially when we don't even love any of our products. So I don't know where it comes from. Maybe I've not done much research to see where it really originates, that we always despise our own products. And it's not good for economy. It's not good for our own dignity, esteem, and love for the country. I think that is an area that really, really needs to change. I hope we start loving our own products. These people really love their country. And in most of the times, you could even see that they even have like flags in their own compound. Sometimes, even, for example, when somebody is dead in that home, they could lower down the flag halfway. In Uganda, if you have a flag in your compound, I don't know if it's even acceptable. Probably the police would even come for you. So those are some of the few things that are really differentiate these people. And I think it also helps them to build the strength in their heart and the love of their country. Another thing I
Raymond, I'm
observed.
sorry.
Yes, please.
Raymond, can I please interject? Yeah, before you go on to your, like next culture difference here, I want to ask you, you as a person, do you actually support, or do you believe in buying products from you? Personally, I will say that I'm guilty as charged, because I have a tendency of thinking that things made in Uganda are probably substandard. They're not as good as those from Germany. And if I find a product made in Germany and one made in Finland, I'll buy one made in Germany, because I've heard that German products are more durable. So maybe we should look at what are the factors that are actually influencing the fact that people in Uganda, or we Ugandans, would rather not buy our own products that are made in Uganda and go for products made elsewhere. Maybe it's also on the quality and not the quantity of the products. So that is something we should sit back and think. Our government needs to do something, because what's the point of, they do not believe in themselves as well. For something to be tagged quality or good, it has to come from abroad. So we are just brought up in a way that we believe that things that come from Bulaya, like they call it, are things that are more durable than those made in Uganda. And then I wanted you, Raymond, for example, to enlighten us here when it comes to cultural differences in terms of like the girl child, for example. Personally, if I have a girl, we are taught from a very young age that we are supposed to listen to elders. When your mom speaks, you cannot speak back at her. Or when your dad says something, it's always they are right. And then we, the girls, are taught how to kneel before elders. What do you have to say about that? Do you think that is something that should be talked about here? during our cultural difference show, or is that something that we should actually overlook?
Well, each society has a way it treats, and I think what has helped these people to be where they are, whereby you find that a girl and a boy are equal,
Yes.
is through time they have uh, they have they have overcome certain things from time to time. Because I remember, like when I was in Italy, when they were explaining to us, there was this Colosseum where we went. They were showing that those areas were for only slaves and women, and then the others were about men and chiefs and all that. So it shows that these societies also have been treating women less compared to men. For
Okay.
example, like in Finland, I think it was after the First World War when they
Yeah.
allowed women to vote. So
Yeah.
initially, they were not regarded as of any importance, and that means they had not even a voting right. But in our society back home, I wouldn't say that kneeling is bad. It's quite good, but
Okay.
I think as time goes by,
Yeah.
it will keep on changing, and they will start eliminating certain norms or practices that
Yeah.
maybe they think are discriminative. Because
Okay.
the kneeling part of it, I think it's the Almighty God who you should kneel to. I don't even think you should kneel even to anybody. But
Okay.
that's if it's the culture saying like that and you believe it and you think it's good, well,
Yes.
let it be.
Okay.
But
Yes.
personally, I think it's somehow discriminative.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very much. Yeah. For that, I just wanted, or I felt that we should, yeah, hint on it during our show. But you have made it, yeah, clear that if it is okay with one culture, then they can go ahead. But like you said, I'm very big on God. Oh, I love God so much. Yeah. So I think I agree with you on that, that we should probably just worship or kneel to only
Yeah,
God. But yeah, like you said, culture is culture. And if it doesn't hurt us, then I think it's okay to carry it on.
exactly. Uh,
Yes.
like another difference in culture here, which I saw with the Finns, Finnish people really love sauna.
Yeah.
They love sauna. We also love sauna, even in Uganda. But there's an extra difference that came in there. It could also be maybe even back home,
Yeah.
where I come from the West. If
Mm,
we are like grazing cattle, like boys can bathe together and you are naked, but of the same age group. Here, in their sauna, they go
yes.
naked. The old man, the wife, the daughter, neighbor.
Exactly.
It is just unbelievable for me, but
A
it's
very
part of their culture.
Raymond, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something on that note. You're speaking about sauna, and you reminded me of when I just come to Finland. Yeah, you know very well that my spouse is Finnish, right? So I
Mm.
remember one time I was supposed to go to sauna, and then his brother and his brother's wife, yeah, and then my husband, they all wanted to, I hear, go to sauna, the four of us together, and like you said, nude, naked. I told them, I'm sorry, but my culture, no, only my husband is allowed to see me, or your wife, I wouldn't mind, but you, his brother, there's no way I can go to sauna naked. He said, it's okay, it's okay. I said, not in my culture. So I had to explain to them, why and how. And after that, they understood. But initially, they just did not understand where I was coming from, because for them, it is very okay. Like everyone just, goes in naked, and that's very normal to them.
Now you can imagine, for example, a Muganda and their culture, and you are with your Nazara. Nazara is naked.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
mother-in-law, your
yes,
father-in-law, and
yeah,
you are also the kids.
yes,
Oh, in the like Buganda kingdom, in the Buganda culture,
yes.
I think, what do they call it? Is it a chive?
Yes.
I,
It's
I don't
a
know what
bad
chive
omen,
is.
abomination,
It's
bad
an
omen or
abomination,
abomination.
exactly.
Yeah,
So, but
that
it's
is
a
true.
cultural difference. That's their culture.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
at the beginning, I was like, okay, personally, I refused. I don't.
Yes.
I grew up in a Muslim environment,
Mm.
and I don't agree to that. So I
Yeah.
have never been naked. And
Okay.
actually, it also came out that I don't enjoy sauna. I go sauna with my wife, and
Yes.
that's it. End of story.
Yeah.
I can never get naked in front of my son. No way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. So yeah, that is it when it comes to that. And then you were proceeding, Raymond, before I interjected earlier
Yeah,
on.
that's one of the cultural differences. And
Yeah.
then also food.
Yeah.
Finnish people love to eat good food.
Mm.
And that's greens. And the surprising part is that in Finland,
Mm.
people normally eat like one meal a day. While in Uganda, we eat like three full meals. It's only recent when I've been traveling back to Uganda that I realized that, oh my God, we really eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
Here, you eat one meal, which
Mm.
is the dinner. It could have like three course. You could
Mm.
have like a starter, some salads, and then you can have your main meal, and then maybe like the ice cream or berries or something. That's an extra on that same meal. But it's
Yeah.
light food, but according to its health content, it's
Yeah.
quite good. In Uganda, it's you eat in the morning, like good food, katogo. You know, when you're hungry, you've been sleeping for a while.
Yes.
You eat like you're not going to eat again.
Yes.
And then lunch comes, you eat like you have not eaten again. You have not eaten before.
Yeah.
In the later they bring on supper at night.
Mm.
It is another huge meal.
Yes.
But some even in between, before the supper, after work, in between there, they first go for some pork joints.
Yeah.
And okay, I need like 1 kilo of pork or whatever, plus 3, 4, 5, 6 bottles of beer. And every time I go back home, I look at my friends and they're
Yeah.
really huge, like in terms of weight.
But Raymond,
To
on
me,
that
I
on
think
that
it
one,
is unhealthy.
But Raymond, on that one, maybe you are living in a different part because here in Finland, where I am, people eat
Mm,
about 5 times a day. You know, they have
really.
five meals in a day.
Like real,
While back
real
home in
meals.
Uganda, yeah, while back home in Uganda, we eat just 3 times, morning, lunch, and dinner. But here they
Mm,
have what they call amupala, that's breakfast. And then they have
mm,
lunch at 11 o'clock. And then at
mm,
2, they have coffee. And then at 4 o'clock, 16 hours, they have paivalinen, which we call dinner. And
yeah.
then at 7, they have iltapala, which is like
Mm,
an evening snack. So the
yeah.
difference I would say in that is that people here eat quite small portions. Yeah, they eat really
Mm,
small. They could have like 2 Irish potatoes and maybe some meatballs, as lunch. But for us back home in Uganda, when we're eating lunch, for example, we have to fill the whole plate. The plate is filled to the brim. So
okay.
maybe
Give
that's the
give an
difference.
give an example of like how many grams.
Okay,
Like
now when it comes to grams, maybe I could say steak of about 210 grams, for example.
here. Here.
Yes, here. Yes,
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Mm. But in
And
Uganda,
home.
someone can eat 1 kilogram plus posho, 1 kg plus posho. To all our viewers out there, I just want to let you know that we are streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So feel free to join any of our podcasts, whether you are on YouTube or Facebook Live. We do appreciate your participation and all your indulgence. Raymond, you have messages here from Abu Matovu. He says,
Mm,
Ndugu Butera Raymond has become a vegan. Greetings from the Viking land, Oslo. Yeah, and then he also says that he wanted a power bank along Entebbe Road, and a Ugandan just sold me Mulondo wrapped as a power bank. I never trust Ugandan products. That is what I was saying. Personally, I'm Ugandan, but I also don't trust Ugandan products at all. And then here we have one, Jeremiah Danduka. Tanduka says, yes, they finished 3 meals. I agree with Samantha. You forgot Valipala too. Valipala as well, yeah, comes in at 2 with their coffee. So some people have coffee and then others have Valipala, yeah, which could be yogurt or raka, as some of them prefer. But to our viewers on Facebook, thank you very much, Abu Matovu, and thank you, Jeremiah Danduka. We do appreciate your participation. Keep your messages coming in and keep sharing with us your opinions. Like Raymond said earlier, these are personal opinions that are from us here, and there's nothing that we are stating that is factual. So this doesn't have anything to do with Grow Farm Uganda. Yes, Raymond, let's go on. Yeah, let's carry on. You were still telling us about
the food,
differences.
The
Yes,
eating.
the food.
Yeah, Abu was talking about power bank. In Uganda,
yes.
different cultures will look at the power bank in different ways.
Okay.
Probably Abu, maybe somebody really saw you and they realized, okay, Abu, you need a power bank. It's a different power bank he's talking about. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead. The foods you're talking of Valipala in between, those are like about 100 grams, 50 grams, then coffee and one cookie. That's not food. I'm talking in Uganda, we are talking about real food.
But in Uganda, we eat twice only, lunch and
Food.
supper.
We are talking of matoke, nyama, kaunga, rumonde. If you bring a 5 or 6-year-old child, they will not carry that plate.
That is true.
That is the kind of food I'm talking about, not this Valipala.
Okay.
Those are like food for the elderly.
Yeah.
Okay. But even a mzee back home can carry a plate that you, Samantha, can't swallow.
Okay.
Even it is a real heap whereby even a cat cannot jump over.
Tell me about it. Kati Raymond, leaving food aside, our cultural practices shape the way communities celebrate important life events. For example, birth, marriage, birthdays, etc. Do you think there's any difference when it comes to how we celebrate certain events back home in Uganda as compared to here in Finland?
Yes. Just to wind up with the food issue, which what I realized on the food, here the foods that they treasure or they look at as important back home is what we regard as local food, which is not like top notch. It's not up to the standard. These days in Uganda, those who have money, they are more into KFC, those kind of food. Here, it is junk food. That is food for the poor. The real food for those who have some money here is real food you call local food. And it is very healthy, but the junk food here is for people who are actually poor anyway. Those who has burgers and others, that's food for poor people. The real food is green food, fresh food, avocado that we have back home. So I wish people back home would stop abusing what they call local food to think it's not a good food. That's the best food. And it's the food consumed here by rich people. We are rich.
On that note, I
actually
remember, Raymond, I remember actually when I was back home in Uganda, I used not to eat greens. I'd never eaten greens. Binombudodo, I hear, what was it called? Buga or what, anything green. I used not to eat it because I thought that was food for the poor, like you said. I used to like it when they cook beef or chicken and stuff. But when you come here, actually, there's no complete meal without salad. And salad is always green. So I do agree with you on that note. Yeah, here.
And the outcome in the near future, if you look at the statistics back home, you realize that the number of diabetic patients is increasing, and it's on a high note, increasing very highly. So I wish people back home would note that and stop eating that junk food, because diabetic too is real, and it's all about lifestyle and how you feed your body.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for that submission. Thank you for that clarification and for that education out there. Banange, all of you guys, I hope you have heard. Raymond is telling you to start eating healthy. Like he said in the beginning, he's a nurse, so he knows what he's talking about. You need to eat healthy so that you live longer. Let's move on and talk briefly about,
Celebrations.
yes, celebration.
Celebrations.
Mm,
Yeah. Here, everybody, we all celebrate almost equally the same
okay,
things.
okay.
Although personally, sometimes I think we are just borrowing some things that we even don't know where they came from. I have
Yeah.
observed, like in Uganda, you celebrate Halloween. I wonder, what is Halloween? What is it?
Yeah.
What is all that crap? What is it about?
Mm,
Birthdays here, it is very important, everybody. And for them, it is even a little bit beyond. Like my wife, if you don't buy her a present on her birthday, it will be, you will not have a good day.
mhm. Same here.
But I think this also has somewhere it comes from. It's because that's how they have grown.
Mm,
They have grown up receiving these gifts when they are kids.
mm.
But me, as someone who comes from cattle keepers, I don't know where you're going to get that. If anybody ever celebrates their birthdays, we as cattle keepers, I don't really. When I was young, I've only seen these things maybe in Kampala. And actually, this brings me to a thinking. In Uganda, like birthdays, do we celebrate birthdays depending on how many kilometers you're far away from Kampala? Or that is because it's people in
The
Kampala
next
actually who have
one.
been celebrating
Mhm.
mostly like their birthdays. But the farther you go away from Kampala, the less celebrations for birthdays. But Christmas, yeah, Christmas here, they celebrate Christmas, but slightly a little bit different from what we celebrate back home.
Yes.
Back home, there's where they used to have even like communal Christmas celebrations where they could gather together. For those who are not having enough, they would buy like a cow and then slaughter it. And those who have would also slaughter. So basically, those are days that everybody was looking forward to. I remember like my first, because I used to wear shorts, and my first trouser was like on Christmas Day, and I was very happy. I never forget Christmas. And for our moms, Christmas was a very important day. That's
Yes.
when they would make their hair. And in those days, the hair to be made, they were making it in a different way. I don't know if you have ever heard of hot combs.
Yes. I remember. What come.
Uh,
Yeah.
hot combs, and even before the hot combs, I think they used to have like pieces of pots, and they put it in fire and then put some oil, and then so after they have made their hair, I think they were not even allowed to sleep, otherwise to disorganize their hair. At least
Wow.
those are the memories I have when I was still
Was a
young during
punishment.
Christmas
Mhm.
time. And then you go to church. So yeah, Christmas is celebrated. Here, Christmas Day is actually not much, 25th is not much. It's more, their Christmas more is about family.
Yes.
It's about family.
And their
On the
Christmas is
25th,
celebrated on 24th.
on the 24th, actually, is the day they wake up in the morning, go to the graves. Everybody converges by the grave
Mm.
to visit like their loved ones who passed away.
Yes.
And in the morning they have like porridge, then they go to the graves, and then afterwards they come together later for Christmas dinner. That's when it begins.
Yeah.
25th is the same, and then 26th is more about gifts.
Okay.
Giving each other gifts. You bring a
Yeah.
gift for Samantha, you bring a gift for Mujisha,
Mm.
Abu, like that. So on the
Yeah.
26th is when you exchange gifts.
Mm.
And maybe probably that's why they called it Boxing Day. I don't know, because I was looking at maybe the days you open up your boxes, because it doesn't make any sense for me. What is Boxing Day? Is it when they go to the ring and box each other, or yeah?
I
But
thought,
they do celebrate. They do celebrate.
but I thought Boxing Day comes from the fact that since you talked about presents, yeah, or gifts, if somebody does
Yeah.
not receive a gift, then they'll come and box you. Like, Raymond, why didn't you bring me a gift?
No, not really. They are not violent. They are not violent.
Okay. That's just an icebreaker anyhow. Before we continue, I'm going to request our technician behind the machines to take us now for a short break. Let's go for a short break and we'll be back shortly. So viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Unveiling Metal Works Limited abakukolera enzigi ez'omulembe mu mbaawo glaasi oba ebyuma amadirisa ag'omulembe zibalukoni ez'abalodi enzigi za garaji ez'akabi ebikomera eby'embaawo ne chain link amaka kwegamba ag'amalako aga class tukuleetedde promotion kuula amalungi gye tutuumye katono oba keke bw'okola oda naffe tukusalirako ebitundu 10 ku buli 10% tukkiriza n'ekibanja mpola ate mu katono promotion osobola n'okusasulangako buli mwezi emirimu gyo gireme kuyimirira ffe tujja kukubeererawo ofune ekituufu jangu tukugonzeze mu kirooto ky'ekyokuzimba nga promotion ekyaliko tukubireko oba whatsapp ku 0784 59 21 oba kuba direct ku workshop yaffe ku 0752 933 194 Lean Metalworks Limited, crafting your curiosity.
Thank you very much, Moses, and welcome back from that commercial break. Just a reminder to all our viewers, we are still here on Europrime Uganda with your one and only host, Samantha Elf, all the way from Finland, alongside my guest today, Mr. Butera Raymond. Raymond, let's continue with our show. And just for your information, we'll be joined by another Raymond, Raymond Nesiyama from Nigeria. He'll be coming on shortly, I think at around 7 o'clock. So stay tuned as you wait for him as well. But before he joins in, let's continue. And we're now moving on to our part 2 of the show, which is communication styles. Yeah. And under communication styles, I want to ask Raymond to break it down or enlighten us, how the role, how body language, plays a role in communication across different cultures. For example, Uganda and Finland. Do you think that body language plays a role in communication across different countries?
Of course, communication, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay. Take us through how it does, like what role does body language actually play when it comes to communication?
It's only that time keeps evolving from time to time, whereby everybody is more relying on social media. And it's very hard to even know what someone is even saying. Because even if someone tells you that, even if somebody is lying to you by writing, they could laugh at it. But if you are physically there, I don't think someone can tell you something and you don't see it on their face. So that's already a communication that is visible.
Yes.
Yeah. Besides what someone says or is speaking, the body also adds on. And this also brings me to the Finnish society. They are always very silent people. They keep quiet, but their communication is always like straight. They are straight people.
Yes.
But when it comes to the body language, it's important. Everything you say, I can even see that you're lying or not.
Yes. Would I be right, Raymond, to say that action speaks louder than words? Does this align to actually body language? Because there's this saying of do as you know, or let me say, okay, they usually say that do as I say, not as I do. But in this particular scenario, I want to say that I prefer somebody acting than speaking. Because if you tell me, Raymond, that, you know what, I love you, I would rather have you act and let me see that you care and love me than you simply tell me that, you know, by the way, I love you, and yet your actions speak something completely different. So maybe just like you said, body language is a very, very strong form of communication, because someone might say that, yes, I really like you, or you ask someone, how are you? And the person says, I'm okay, but with this gloomy look on their face, without a smile. Or if somebody says, I like you, Raymond, but they always look at you in a certain manner, without without affection, or without smiling, definitely you would know that that person is simply pretending. So I wanted to find out if that would also align into what you're talking about.
Yeah, with the love, I think you're talking to the wrong person.
Okay.
Um,
Why is it you don't do anything?
Coming from the West,
Yes.
for us, we are straight.
What do you
We are
mean
not
you're
into
straight?
this business of running, sleeping, mosquitoes biting you. If I love you, nyoni nkukunda.
So how do you
straight.
show that you love someone? You just say nkukunda and that's it.
You just go straight and tell someone I love you. We don't waste time. We don't go these ways lying to you. No.
But that is exactly what I'm saying, that I would prefer somebody showing me. Just show me something, yeah? Instead of telling me those sweet words that mean nothing. Show me, buy me a cow. Bring for me a cow.
Actually, from the West, if you look into our history, you could find maybe we are the only maybe cultures whereby I just look at a girl, she's beautiful. I send my brothers, my cousins, they lift her, bring her, and we hide her somewhere until she's pregnant.
What? That is against.
Yeah, of course, with time things have changed, but at least that was part of it. Yeah, so I look at you, I said, this girl, I like her. They will come, and the end, it is just paying cows, and you are my wife.
Raymond, we have a comment here, on Facebook. Moses Mugisha says, nice topic. Greetings from Oslo. Thank you very much, Moses Mugisha. We appreciate your comment. And then we have Joy Mirembe says, oh, like she's struck, she's surprised, like, oh, when you talked about you carrying a girl and hiding her until she's pregnant. Yeah, why would people, that's being mean, that's being harsh.
Now, if not everybody has the ability to sweet talk. Okay, because some of us are like straightforward. I'm telling you this because I mean it, and that's it. Why would I come and lie to you? I am going to walk on water. I will go to wherever and bring you the sky. I can't.
That's why I was saying that maybe it is actually better. You have to just
I will go and bring you the moon. It is not there. It's not possible.
Avoid Moses, not Moses, Raymond. Avoid all that and just buy the girl. Take for her 5 cows. Take for her milk and send in kukunda. Taska na tora ente na torera amaito or whatever it is,
But anyway, but naturally, those things, they come automatic. There's a way, even just by face, smiles, winking. When you grow up together, there's an affectionate that you grow closer. So those things happen automatic. But I'm just giving you that also. Lifting and taking you was part of our cultures, and it actually brought out whereby HIV/AIDS was so rampant in the western Uganda, like the Ankole region and others, basically cattle keepers, and they had to stop that kind of practice, and it is outlawed. And if you are caught, it's not acceptable.
Oh my God!
Surprisingly, it's still practiced. I remember my last visit to Uganda. One of my cousins was in jail because of that. And I was like, you people, are you still in this kind of nonsense? Yeah. But, culture is culture.
Yes. I'm so lucky. I did not get that experience from any Musheshe or any Western guy, because I can imagine being carried and kept somewhere, against my wish. But leaving that aside, I just want to say that yeah, like Raymond said, that usually when you have a connection with somebody, you can tell the person can have different body language signs that they can do to make you understand that they're actually interested in you. So we shall move on from that. But to Joy Mirembe, yes, I know it's surprising, right? Make sure you do not get Munyankore or a Westerner, because I hear for them they
No,
simply act. They act.
no, 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 no. It's not
Yeah,
true.
that is not
It's not
true.
true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things have changed. Time has changed.
Okay. Okay. Then
Time
that's
has really
good.
changed a lot.
Yeah, that is good. Okay, I'll now take a very short break here by saying that to all our viewers on Euroforum that we have Janat Nagolola, a Mind Your Child coach in Uganda. You can reach out to Janat Nagolola in Uganda on a number that I'll be sharing with you guys very soon. But other than that, let's move on and talk more about these cultural differences. Moving forward, let's talk about the education and learning approaches. Yeah, how do cultural differences affect approaches to education and learning styles?
Finland is a country that its education was built for everybody.
Yeah.
They mind everyone on board, and it was until 1968 actually when they outlawed private schools.
Yes.
There is a dog barking in the back. I don't know, someone in the evenings. They normally walk dogs. Let me just move away.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm in a park, so I want you to see the nature of Finland. It's more green.
Wow.
So,
very beautiful.
Yeah. So basically, in Finland, private education was outlawed. You cannot have a private school in Finland. In 1968, that's when it was outlawed. So the essence of building their education was they were looking at it as a tool that can transform their country.
Yes.
As a nation. And if even you cannot take a child to study far away from your living area or your living environment. So, for example, if I am living like here, the nearest school is where I will take my child.
Yes.
I cannot take a child, let's say, from Boise to Kawempe to study.
Yes.
No, it's not accepted. Even if you are the president, even if you're who, your child has to study in your environment there. Okay. So education is free from primary, secondary, university, up to PhD, free of charge, because they understood that it's the only tool that can transform their country. Back home, and then, before I go home in Uganda, here, still, kids go to school from the age of 4, that's kindergarten. And then the young ones are not even allowed to study past 2 o'clock. You study in the morning. Actually, I think even up to the whole of primary, you study up to 2 o'clock, 2 to 3, and you start at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
So this has helped the child to grow, because they believe that kids have to play more, and then they allow them to develop. Their brains have to develop. When we go back home, our education in Uganda is more business.
Yeah.
Total business. They don't look at it as even a form of transforming a society or a country. I have kids studying in Uganda, and every term begins, and it's like I am opening a new shop.
Yes.
And the absurd part of it is kids wake up so early, like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Speak of it. Yeah.
5 o'clock. A
Yeah.
child needs to grow. You are waking this child at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Even kindergarten, nursery, they are running to borders. 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
really
you're
absurd.
right. Okay.
And then at the end, when you come here, even most of your education that you attained back home in Uganda here is not even recognized. And then you have been even beaten, Chiboko. Here you can't beat a child. No way.
Yeah. So you mean
And
kids are not beaten at school when it comes to Finland? No.
here, no way.
Yeah. No.
No way. Here, because kids have a right, they have a right to ask, because the education system is built in a way that it's about helping the child to explore him or herself into being whatever they want to be. Well, back home, it's like a military environment.
Yes, survival for the fittest.
Chiboko. I remember when I was even in primary, there was a math teacher, I even don't remember his name.
Yeah.
I was in P7, I did it in Aga Khan in Mbali. This teacher would come in the morning, there's morning, like a morning test. 10 questions, you fail one, each one is Kiboko. Oh my
God. Oh my God.
So it was impossible that you'd finish a whole week, because you cannot get 10 out of 10 every morning. Every morning.
Yes, that's true.
Then I just know every week I have a number of my Chibokos on me. Chiboko is Canes.
So, Raymond, in your opinion, do you actually think that the cultural values that we have, back home, and the cultural values that are instilled in children here contribute, towards kids, academic achievement or success?
Of course.
Has that been a hint? Of course. Okay. Yeah.
Because when you look at the statistics, like always, Finland is ranking so highly in terms of education.
Number one. Yeah.
Sometimes number one, number two, number three. But ask yourself, where does Uganda rank?
Nowhere. Invisible.
Even if you ask me, I even don't know. But then what brings that?
Yes. Okay.
It's the foundation that you build. It's the foundation that you build down on the ground.
Yes.
The house's strength is from the foundation that you build. Now look at this child. You are waking this child at 5 o'clock in the morning. A child is supposed to sleep.
Yes.
5 o'clock in the morning. When will their brains? And then a child will go even for preps, study up to 10, 11 o'clock in the night. You wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you sleep at 10, 11 in the night. When is your brain going to develop?
Yes. When is it going to relax?
Back home, kids are not even allowed to express themselves. They are only pumping stuff in your head, and your work is to cram and answer exactly how they are given to you.
Yes.
One-way traffic.
That is so true. That is so right. And some of the things that we are taught actually in school have proven to be irrelevant, to us when, in our adult age. For example, I remember when we were in school, we studied things like in history. I hear what was it called? I don't even remember the something fight. What was it? Bachwezi, was it the Bachwezi or something? Like things that are completely irrelevant, because they do not apply anywhere.
Yeah, here they always try to emphasize on kids learning the environment and things that concern them. Here, they study more about their own country. Well, back home, I remember when I was in lower secondary, you would draw, like in geography, you would draw the Canadian prairies. You go to them, there's this, whatever, the Tennessee Valley Authority stuff.
Yes.
You draw a lot of all the bays, and then you look at the challenges they passed in through, and I'm like, oh God, what was all that?
That is true. It hasn't been impactful at all,
And in Uganda, you don't even know anything that is even going to help you in your own country. So the education system actually needs to be scrapped back home because it's totally irrelevant.
It needs to be revised, completely
And
revised.
I think also they need also to understand, for example, like when education was introduced in Uganda,
Yeah.
was it intended? Was it intended to develop us? No. There is no way a colonial master, the intention is to make you bright.
Better.
Your work is actually to become a good slave. And I can relate, for example, slaves or those who are working on plantation. They were not slaves, it was a colony. But working on a plantation in Uganda, in my own view, you would have to wake up very early in the morning, go on a sugar cane plantation or tea or whatever, very early in the morning before the sun rises. And then by 10 o'clock, you go and relax. That is your break. And maybe you go back again later for the preps until again 11 o'clock, if I relate it in education. So we are still moving in a system that we even do not understand where it comes from.
Yes.
So we are still have inherited the same system that we are actually even sending on to our own children.
That is,
when even we are a free state.
Yes, that is so true. That is very true. Okay, but now as we move on, Raymond, we are coming towards the end of our show. I would like to promise viewers out there that we shall be having a part 2 to this particular topic, unveiling the impact of cultural differences, because due to the time factor, we might not be able to explore each and everything today because we are running out of time, but I promise to be back next time with a part 2 on this particular topic. Before we move on, let me just send shout outs to all the Euro Forum management team, to all my colleagues and co-hosts. Moses Mogisha, thank you very much for the work you do. Smogi John Remy in Copenhagen, Jolene Nassali in Sweden, Irene in Uganda, and then we have Janat Nagolola. Also in Uganda, we have Gibson Umuhumuza, and then lastly, we have who did I leave out? Oh, and I mentioned everyone. Esther, Blessed Esther in Uganda. To you all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all the work that you do, and it's been great working with you as a team. To Euroforum viewers, we thank you very much for your participation, for your support, and the love that you give to us, because we would be nothing without you. We are who we are because of you. And to our pioneer, Mr. Butera Raymond, I would like to say a huge thank you. You are my pioneer, you are my senior. I always tell you that you were here before me on Euroforum, and I am learning to do what I'm doing from you. So maximum respect, and thank you for sparing your time to come here.
Thank you so much.
Be with us. Thank you for all your knowledge. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. But also, I just want to make a reminder that
yes, please.
Finland will be hosting the Euro Cup next year.
Yes.
So please get your tickets, pack your bags, come and have fun. Okay. It will be in the summer, and the summer is the best place to be here in Finland.
Are you talking about football? Is that football?
Yes, football, Euro Football Cup, yes, next year in the summer. And then also, congratulations also to Uganda and for the independence. I hope everybody celebrated independence. Yeah. And I'm sure our Ugandan independence will be on the 19th. And I hope to see you, Samantha, and the others.
Yes.
We will be celebrating in Espoo on the 19th. And I think also Norway will be on the same day.
Same day as well, Norway.
Yeah, it will be, yeah. Okay. So, of course, independence, we more call it Uganda Day because quite a number of people, I think, do not believe even that the independence, but they think that Uganda is not independent enough. But I think that is, according to me, personal view is that Uganda is independence, just like a child who reached, let's say, for example, the age of 18, and you are free, you're out of your father's home, you are independent. Yes. How you use your independence is up to you. Yes. You either you are still being fed or whatever, but Uganda is independent. How it uses its independence, it's up to you. Thank you so much.
Much for that clarification. And actually, yes, submission. On that note, yes, I would like to welcome all Ugandans, yeah, back from independence. Yeah, that was on 9th of October. Yeah, happy belated Independence Day to all Ugandans watching right now. Thank you, Raymond, for that reminder. I think it had actually skipped my mind that we had independence a few days ago. But like Raymond said to all of you, 19th of this month, we're going to be celebrating Ugandan Independence Day right here in Finland on the 19th of October in Espoo. So come one, come all. Invite a friend to invite another friend, and let's do this. And remember, next year, yes, we have the Euro football. I'm going to be there for the first time, Raymond. You know, I've never been in any, I've never attended any football event, but I promise next year I have to be there. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind all our viewers that here on Euroforum, we have Janat Nagolola, a colleague of ours in Uganda, that happens to be a Mind Your Child coach. So for all your parenting issues and troubles, you can contact her on 0772858289. Janat Nagolola, Mind Your Child parenting coach in Uganda. For Euroforum, I am Samantha L. We are wrapping up, and very soon we're going to be joined by our other guest to continue with the last part of our topic, which has been unveiling the impact of cultural differences. Yeah, we've been focused on two countries, Uganda and Finland, but very soon Raymond will be joining in, another Raymond Oga from Nigeria, who will now give us a dimension of cultural differences in Nigeria vis-a-vis Finland. So yes, let's wait. As we wait on Raymond, yeah, we could just continue with my Raymond Rich Gang. With my Raymond, yes. And Raymond, as we carry on, I want you to throw more light, yeah, on the last topic we're talking about, which was education, yeah, and learning approaches. How else do you think that our learning system or learning approaches back home in Uganda, as compared to the system or approaches that you have actually seen here in Finland, yeah? How different are they, and how impactful are they when it comes to child growth or development?
Well, for the child's development,
yes,
basically as a human being, education is the only tool that can help improve our brains to be able to understand differently or constructively.
Yes.
If you are uneducated, your reasoning on how to be able to see things is totally different. And I think sometimes it's either deliberately done in our country that education is a service that is the most expensive to continue maintaining a society that cannot reason, whereby I think this also helps those even in politics to stay longer, because people do not have any view. They cannot even read to be able to see what's happening outside.
Yes.
I don't really understand it. Why is it so expensive?
Okay.
The government builds schools, pays teachers school fees, salaries, buys everything, and you are charging kids a lot of money. I have two kids. They are in Seta High. But every time you pay about 2.6 million shillings, even a Finnish person here cannot afford that. I think it's a deliberate way of maintaining or restraining people from improving their own lives.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the things that are actually making people get worried and improves or increases the corruption is fear. You're
Yeah.
fearing that maybe tomorrow if if you're not around or something happens, you're unable to pay school fees for your kids or
Yes.
medical care. So those are some of the things at least these societies here, like Finland, took away pressure from the people. You are 100% assured that either you die or whatever happens, your child is going to attain education free and quality. Even if you need a heart transplant, you will get it immediately without any cost. So those are some of the things that has helped their societies not even to be corrupt. But back home, people are stealing money here, east, west, just because they are scared, they are fearing.
Yes.
But their tomorrow is uncertain.
You're very right about that.
Yeah. So I think if they could look at education as a tool or a way to help improve their society or our society, it would be, I wouldn't even be here anyway.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Raymond. With us now is our second guest. Raymond, you're most welcome. Kindly turn on your camera. Hi. Glad to have you here.
I'm here.
Yes.
My namesake.
Yes,
Nice.
it's right there. Yeah. Raymond was saying hi to you. Raymond, Uganda.
Hello, Raymond.
It's strange to see someone else bearing my name, so.
Now, Raymond Oga, yes, you're most welcome. You have come towards the end of the show, but I'm going to allow you to take us through just one simple question, and then we'll wrap up the show. So you're going to be here with us maybe for just 10 minutes, and we shall end the show.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, but before we do that, go ahead and kindly introduce yourself to the viewers as I get ready to, ask you.
Sure. I'm Raymond. I've been here a couple of times, I think twice now. This is the third time anyway, and so it's lovely to be in your midst and your presence. I reside in Finland. I'm an international student here in Finland as well, and that's basically everything about me. I'm a cybersecurity enthusiast and a business information technology expert. So that's about my professional side.
Brief and precise. You're most welcome, Oga. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Yeah, and as we wrap up, I just want you to take us on with the last sector of our discussion on today's topic, which is unveiling the impact of cultural differences. Yeah, and we'll be talking about the cultural views on time and space. How do you think, like in your opinion, how do cultures differ in their perceptions of time? For example, punctuality or time management?
Okay, so to start with, I would like to just define a little bit of concept, especially with respect to how cultures view time as a concept. So basically, it could affect both the behaviors, interaction, and also the societal norms of the environment. So in my opinion, for instance, I'll just make an example. I'll start by using where I'm from, for instance, Nigeria, right? When a Nigerian says they're on time, it means they're like over 10 to 15 minutes late.
Yes.
Context anyway, right? So punctuality in itself is basically it's a culture where the people who are involved, like for instance, Germans, I could say Finnish for some context because I've been here for a while now, and
Yeah.
Jamaicans as well. They're very punctual when it comes to time, and that's like a cultural thing for them. You know, when they have something set for a specific timeline, for them, being on time is late, but being there or arriving before time is you being punctual, right? Now, so but from my personal point of view, right, my personal perspective, right? So the concept of time basically is if you are, for instance, you're ideally in this situation where you are expected to be at a place and to do something at a specific period of time, and
Yes.
you decide to do it on or before that time,
Yes.
then it totally means that you have respect for the other person or the other party who is supposed to be in the same space with you or who you've had that arrangement with. But then again, some culture believe that, like for instance, Africa cultures. I don't know how it is in Uganda, for instance, but then
Yeah.
in some part of Africa, they believe that when there is an event or when there's something that is supposed to happen at a specific period of time, that going early speaks of weakness to you, right? Shows that you want it badly, you really want to be there, you cannot do without it, and then
Yeah.
you have to show up here. But like Nigeria as a case study, because that's where I'm from, so I can speak very well of Nigeria. So in the case of my country where I'm from, right, if there is an event and like let's use a wedding for instance. If there's a wedding ceremony, the male party, that's the man, has to be there on or before the time, and then the woman or the lady, the wife, comes in at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes later. So
Yes.
that's why that walk down the aisle is very important. So the lateness is understood, accepted. If a lady is actually on time for a wedding, it's like a bad aura, somewhat. I don't know why. Yeah.
Is that where we come with the phrase African time? You know, like when
That's
we,
that's
yes,
Africa.
we argue on something, I hear, let's meet at 3 o'clock. Then we ask each other, are we referring to African time or is it Finnish
Exactly.
time? Okay,
Exactly.
okay. Yeah. Then I actually guess that it's the same thing in Uganda and Nigeria as well. Yeah, it's just African time.
African time is Africa.
Yeah.
Everybody in
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. So it actually does differ, you know, from the culture here in Finland.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was a time when we had
Yeah.
a lecturer, and the lecturer was like about 15 minutes late.
Mm,
She came in and said, "Oops, my bad. I was in another lecture room thinking that
mm,
was the place for the lecture, whereas this
yeah.
is the place for the lecture." Because we're all thinking things don't come
Okay.
late. And
Yes.
if they're going to
Yes.
be late, they will send an email before time telling you
Mm,
that, hey, I'll be late to this
yes.
minutes or hours and whatnot.
In my country, for example, it's very okay. The president also comes late, you know,
It's
for state functions, and it's very normal. It's very cool. It's very okay. But in Finland, it's completely different. Okay, now just the final submission, Raymond. Can you please give me some examples, yeah, of how personal space is viewed differently across cultures? And in this case, you can refer to Nigeria versus Finland.
okay. So
Yeah.
to start with,
Yeah.
Nigerians are very encroaching. They really don't respect that personal space because we,
Okay.
we grew up in an environment where your teacher, who's
Mm,
like your teacher in school, is referred to as your uncle, right?
okay.
So you
Yeah.
know the relationship between someone and an uncle would be the mother's brother or the father's brother, right? So it's a close knit kind of thing. But then we refer to our teachers in schools as uncle or the
Mm,
ladies as aunties. So it has already brought close that space of having to feel like we're all one. So they don't really respect space in
yeah.
my culture or in Nigeria as a whole, right?
Mm,
But then I had a bit of cultural shock here in
yeah.
Finland when I came and I noticed that when you wait for the bus, no matter the condition of the weather, if it's winter, summer,
Mm,
or autumn where there's rain and whatnot, you have to
mm,
give space between the next person standing, right?
yes.
Everybody has to have that minimum distance of at least a meter or 2 meters. And it was awkward because it could be raining, it could be snowing, and then someone comes to the bus stop
Mm,
there and maybe sitting waiting for the bus, and the person decides to stay outside rather getting drenched or
Yeah.
getting drenched by the rain or feel some cold rather than coming into the shelter, the bus stop shelter. But then that's physical space. But then again, when we go deeper into personal space, knowing when not to cross the line of people's privacy. Yeah, I noticed here in Finland, people prefer to have their own space. If we're classmates, we're classmates, we keep it at that. You don't know more than what you should know, right? Let's talk
Yeah.
of only class-related activities. I don't want to care. I mean, I don't care about family-related informations. Those are your personal life. Keep that to
Yeah.
you. But
Okay.
then in Nigeria, on the other hand, they are
Mm.
very inquisitive. In fact, they
Yeah.
ask you questions that are very uncomfortable that you wouldn't really want to answer. Like for instance, you get
Yeah.
a new job and they're asking you, "Hey, how much is your salary?
Yes.
How do you spend?"
Like that, it's my salary. Did you hear it? Did you hear that? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
in different contexts, right,
Mm.
they go ahead to abuse space and time, right?
Yes.
And I got to understand it deeper. I mean, I got to get a deeper understanding of this while
Mm.
I was taking a course called intercultural awareness, because we're just
Yeah.
evaluating different cultures and how they interact with each other. And yeah,
Yes.
but then from Africa point of view, like here where I'm from, right, they really don't respect space and
Oh,
time. They
okay.
respect space and time because they just feel we are one, right?
Yes.
We're one. But I kind of understand them
Mm.
because we have similar color, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
also the same case here, but then
Mm.
here in Europe, they are
Mm.
divided by different kind of leadership, organizational
Mm.
structure, schematics,
Mm.
and all that. So they have a different way of approaching situations. But I know the Germans, for instance, I was in Germany for about a few
Mm.
months. The
Yeah.
Germans, on the other hand, they kind of like are close knit somewhat.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can see a German son who's like
Yeah.
elderly still
Mm.
having that relationship with their parents. Unlike here in Finland, it's weird because you can see an old woman who never gets a call, a text, or a visit from any family member, and you're like, hey, you said you
Yeah.
had kids. Where are
Yeah.
they? How come
Yes.
they give you
Yes.
this much space? But
Yes.
then it's normal to them. It's normal to them. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Raymond. Those were very, very good examples, and you actually nailed it, I should say. But unfortunately, due to lack of time, I'm going to request that we actually wrap up this show. And I'm going to say this to our viewers again. I already told them earlier that we shall be having a part two, of unveiling the impact of cultural differences, because I would love to continue and have more of your insights on this, especially based on the fact that you are from Nigeria and I love Nigeria, and you are my only Nigerian friend. So yes, I promise to bring Raymond back. He was held up today, so he was unable to be with us from the beginning, but I do appreciate and want to say I'm so grateful for having spared your time to come and share with us. Thank you very much for always being here, for Eurofarm, and for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you very
We
much.
are so glad to have had you. Yeah. You can give out any remarks if you have any remarks to.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me once more. And this is a very important topic. I wish I was here earlier as well to hear some of
That is true.
Raymond's submission.
Yes.
Yeah, the Raymond, the other Raymond anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
Okay.
again, I look forward to the part two and
Yes.
having to dive deep into this
Yes.
topic. It's really important that we understand how to, because this will give us an understanding of how to interact with people and not to cross boundaries, and also be able to interact in a
Mm.
different sphere or a different environment and still be able to manage how we build relationships and connections. It's like some
Yes.
people could be okay with you reaching out to them one time and they
Yeah.
get back to you when they have the time, but some are very unhappy with you
Yeah.
bugging them. Yeah,
Yes.
multiple
That is
messages and calls, and like they're like,
that is very, very true.
yeah,
So you heard it. Raymond has told you, and he will be back here again to share with you, give you his insights and share with you as well the knowledge he has on culture differences. For now, I would like to say thank you very much to Butera Raymond from Finland, Uganda, and then to my Oga, Raymond Nesiyama. Thank you very much for sparing your time. To Euroforum viewers, thank you for being part of Euroforum Uganda, and thank you for making us who we are. I was Samantha Elf, your host, one and only from Finland. We love you and God bless you all. Until next time, we're out for now. Cheers. Bye.
Welcome to Malinda Safaris. Looking for your next unforgettable adventure? Tour your way to African nature. Imagine enjoying a comfortable ride for any occasion of your choice. Do you have a package for delivery? Our professionals are here for you. And that's not all. We partner with the best accommodation service providers, fit for your budget. So why wait? Reach us through the contacts on your screen.